are ready when you
Well, if
are.
we knew if they
Okay.
weren't coming, then we'd add it.
We know we're gonna be standing in a minute, so
Okay.
That's what they said.
we're just drawing it out.
We're just waiting for the buffet.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please stand. National anthem. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh Lord, thank you for this day and this weather we're having and the rain. We really needed the rain. Help this group here to understand how we're trying to make improvements in Parker, and hopefully we're making the right decisions with your help. Bless our firefighters, our police officers, our military, and our children, and see that they do on the right way of making their life the way it's supposed to be. I ask this in all your name. Thank you. Amen.
Ron.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated, everybody. Okay, let's see if I got my corrective lenses here. So,
Shall I call a roll?
I don't know. I think we might skip it tonight.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. If you don't mind, will you please call the roll?
Miss Barrett.
Here.
Miss Barrow.
Here.
Mr. Chapel.
Here.
Mr. Haynes.
Skip.
Mayor Kelly.
I'm here. Thank you, ma'am. If you don't mind, please, counsel, if you in your packages, you should have by now had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll have to look them over. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, sir. Got a first and a second. You call a roll?
Miss Barrett.
Yes.
Miss Barrow. Yes. Mr. Chapel.
Yes.
Mr. Haynes.
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. We are going to have at least one addition tonight, and that'll be 5318 Lake Drive. We addressed it 2 weeks ago, and we're going to address it and close it out this evening. But before we do that, do we have any items from the audience at this time?
Miss Moore.
Hey,
Good morning.
good morning.
Anne Marie Morris, 129 North Lakewood Drive. So I have just a few things I want to bring forward. The most pressing is the 4th of July. The VFW is going to have a bouncy house and a water slide. And if there are some children in the city of Parker that they can come over.
Where's this going to be?
At the VFW.
At the VFWK.
Right, right. And we're gonna start cooking 12 noon on the 3rd, all night long. So I was told to come here and let you know that there will be people at night at the V, mostly by the building in the parking lot, but right there, so
Okay.
not to worry about that. On September 21st, we're gonna do our 5th annual Santa for Sims motorcycle rally. More information coming on that. And then October 31st, we're still going to do the trunk or treat, 4:30 to 6.
Very good.
One more thing, I want to thank you again, Mr. Kelly, Mayor Kelly, for allowing the VFW to use your smoker today.
Anytime.
We made $327 that
Good
night.
for you.
Thank
Good for
you so
you.
much. Oh, one more thing.
This is it. You only get 4.
I know. Well, okay. On Meadow, there was a house that burned a few months ago.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to make sure that we're able to progress past the ruins.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, clarify for me what it is you mean.
It's a burnt house
Yeah,
and a truck still there.
it is.
Okay.
So, just for clarification for everybody in the room that may or may not understand how this system works, when your house burns to the ground, if it was a training burn, you would have 15 days to get it cleaned up, or the city would do it. There are some, in this particular fire, there are some situations that occurred during the fire and since the fire that have caused us to have to get legal representation to move forward.
Afraid of that.
It's unfortunate, but you have to do it the right way. I'm responsible to ensure that all of your assets are protected. And so we have sent an official letter to the property owners, who they still live in Parker, I have attempted to contact them telephonically. I will tell you this, in the event that they do not get it done, that Public Works will take the appropriate equipment to that house, and they will pick up the remaining debris, and we'll lien that property until such time as we're able to sell the lot or they were able to pay back the cost of cleanup. But as it stands right now, it's maybe 8 days ago we sent the official letter from the attorney through the code enforcement officer to the property owners, and it has to all be done, signed, sealed, delivered, registered mail, so on and so forth, and we've done all of that so that we're legally compliant. My biggest fear is, and there's been some people say that the unburnt portion is going to fall over and hit the house. That's not correct. There's not enough room. My biggest fear is that the people who come to me in the neighborhood and said that those folks have been back and forth over there trying to salvage stuff out of the house.
They haven't been back in the past 3 weeks.
Well, I got to tell you, that was such a dangerous thing to do.
It was. I
I
know,
mean,
but
the nails, just the
I know,
nails
I
alone.
know.
But if it collapsed on top of you, it would hurt you really bad. But we don't have any legal way to stop that from happening.
well, they
So-
haven't been back in several weeks.
Right, and I tell you, I walked in it, and there's, or beside it and around the edge of it, there is nothing to save there. It's gone. But
Very
we
sad.
wanted to give them an opportunity to try to make the appropriate changes in their lives to be able to afford to get that cleaned up, and that has not happened. So we're very close to getting it taken care of, and I understand your concern, but sometime in the very near future, when it is, I don't know. We don't have a court date, or even if we're going to have to go to court, we might have it. It might be that they just sign the paperwork over to the city, but unfortunately, there was nothing. There was no insurance available on that property, so it's once I start down that road, once I make that decision that we're going to do it, we have the equipment to do it, the manpower to do it, and we will do it, and it'll all be hauled to the landfill. But of course, I'm spending in advance our money, and I will have to have our money back. So it'll end up going before a magistrate at some point, and I'm not looking to make any profit. I just want it cleaned up, and if they can't do it, I'll do it for them.
Thank you.
Does that
sir.
help you? Yes, ma'am.
Miss
Thank
Morris,
you.
can I just ask you what time the VFW, like the bouncy house and that, is gonna
The
start?
4th of July,
Mhm.
we're going to have the bouncy house there about 11.
Okay.
Actually, there'll be a little bit earlier, but about from 11 to like 4.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we're going to have food, so if you want to join us for food, it's going to be closer to 1.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And that's ribeyes you're having?
Hamburgers and hot dogs.
Hamburgers and hot dogs, love it.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else from Philly steak sandwich? Anybody else in the audience that needs to come to the podium before we get started? All right, sounds good. First item will be the additional item, 5318 Lake Drive. The builders came before us a couple weeks ago. They had a couple of code issues they needed to resolve. Their attorney and our attorney have those resolved now, and they are asking for. They own some property on Lake Drive, and they built some beautiful houses already, and they bought a lot, and they want to split their lot to build a couple more houses. So what we're asking for, council, is your blessing to split that lot.
I'll make a motion that will allow them to do it.
Okay, we got a motion to split it?
I'll second.
Got a second. Would you call the rolls, please? Roll, please, clerk, Madam
I
Clerk.
will. Miss Barrett,
Yes.
Miss Barrow,
Yes.
Mr. Chappell,
Yes.
Mr. Haney,
Yes.
Mayor Kelly.
Yes, thank you, council.
So Jamie will send that sign.
We have one item, a regular item, and this is what we initially had on the agenda. And you may see in your packages a copy of a letter from Mr. Buchholz. And he is the owner of Pier 98. And for some time, over the past 2 or 3 months, myself and Mr. Summerlin have spoke with Mr. Buchholz, reference his desire to put a bait and tackle shop, I guess we'll call it, but it's a portable building at his expense on the property, strapped down like you do a regular portable building. And in it, there would be Coca-Cola machines, bait machine, snack machine, and on the outside, they would put an ice machine so that when you go to the pier or you launch your boat, you'd be able to by ice, by candy bars, by Coca-Colas. It's right, it'll be to the right of the new bathroom that's down there. It would cost the city nothing. Mr. Buchholz is willing to take the gamble and put this building in and all of the machines in at his expense. But when he got the contract from Mr. Sloan, I didn't write nothing on my copy. I don't know if you guys did, but Buchholz got his copy, and he disagreed with some of the language and some of the requirements that were put in there. For what it's worth, in 2 or 3 years, we may all be gone. And if Buchholz didn't get along or do business with the new mayor and the new management, they might say, well, you can leave and we'll take away your building. Because in the contract it said that we would keep the building. And it's not like it's going to have a foundation. It's not like it's going to have anything permanent. They can undo the little tie downs and they can pull it up on the trailer and they can take it wherever they want. The Coca-Cola machines would never have been his. They belong to the Coca-Cola company. And I know that for a fact because I asked him. When we did the pier opening ceremony, I asked him. But he is willing to stick his neck out and buy the bait machine, and it is extremely expensive. And it will take almost a year to get. And he's willing to, and the snack machine wouldn't be his. They would put it in there and he'd sell their snacks. And the ice machines, I don't think he would own them. They would just be outside the building. And I will tell you that I've been told by several people that his business plan for this will be difficult because the salt air is going to eat the building, the tie downs, the machines, a lot of the expenditures are going to be eaten by the salt air. But I spoke with Mr. Buchholz this week, and if we are willing to go with the changes that he made in his letter, he's willing to invest his money and put us a bait house, not really a tackle shop, but maybe like tackle in a bag or whatever. So when you go to the pier, you'll be able to pull in there if you go to the boat landing and put ice in your boat, snacks in your boat, Coca-Colas in your boat, in your whatever. It'll provide us a service that we currently don't have and we're not looking to put down there. So I would just like your input, Counselor, what you think about this.
Well, I don't have a problem with what he's asking. You know, if we wanted to go ahead and approve it by the changes he's made, can we do that tonight?
Yes, ma'am. Yep. If you want, does anybody else have any?
I'd like to see what the problem he's got with what's been proposed to him.
It was in your package.
Not
I
this
see
time.
his response, but I don't see the
Oh, the contract from Sloan.
term.
Okay.
The biggest issue was that the city would end up with the building after a year. And I think that's what paragraph 1 is all about.
There's several subjects that I'm just not familiar with.
It's like if you imagine a shed that was delivered to your yard, that's about what it's going to be.
Of course.
That's like that, and then it's going to have the same color metal as the gazebos that they have down there, so it'll fit in with the bathrooms. And his biggest concern was that if something changed in the future, and he had made a $100,000 investment, that he'd be able to recover his investment. Well, some of it we couldn't take from him because it would belong to Coca-Cola, but he wants to be sure that he can at least get his building and his equipment back if something changes. And he's taking a heck of a chance. A heck of a chance.
Anything that's his, he would get back.
Yeah, I feel the same way. If he's gonna spend money on it in his pocket, I mean, I feel like the
It's
building.
fair,
the
isn't it?
Building back.
Yeah.
As long as it's not sitting on a foundation where you're gonna tear up the property.
It's not. They put pads of concrete on the ground like they do a shed. And then they put it on the hooks, but
I would agree with that.
I feel like if he's paying out of pocket for a building.
every bit of it out of his pocket.
Then it's common sense. You pay for something that it belongs to you.
I've been talking to Bill Coates for a couple of years since he first came to Parker, and he's not here for a one-day turnaround. He's here for the long haul. He bought a house in Parker. He's got a damn fine business in Parker. Pier 98 has not looked as good as it looked in a long time. And you could come in.
I'm sorry, I called and they said 6 o'clock.
That's because we wanted to get it done before you got here.
I'm sorry, I don't know who I called. The lady answered nobody I ever talked to before. They said 6 o'clock.
This is Mr. Blister. He's here because no, this is Mr. Buchholz. So maybe if there's any, the only question we got so far,
Stand up and speak to the
would you like to come to the podium for me?
Absolutely.
Mr. Haney has brought up, they don't have a copy of that original contract from Sloan. And, he wanted to, address what you had said about
didn't get
not
one
keeping the building if you left in the future. And what did Sloan say in that contract?
It just said after the time period or whatever, it becomes the property of,
Parker.
City of
Parker.
Parker,
Yeah, and see, and the thing, you know, everybody's gotta keep in mind, I'm really, honest to God, I'm not looking at this as a profit center. This is 3 vending machines
Yeah.
supporting a $55,000 investment that we can't make cheaper.
Right.
Because of the salt air in the atmosphere, and talking
Right.
to all the vendors, this equipment, if we don't put it in a, you know, in a climate controlled space.
Right.
Then, and even with that, we know that we're gonna have to replace the air conditioner in probably 3 years or
Right.
4 years, and you know, and these are off 3 vending machines.
Yep.
And so there's only a couple things I had issues with, that being one of them. I mean, I could always use a building out at my farm or something, so it's not like that'd be a total loss if it didn't work out.
Right.
And the one was in there according to this with no reason whatsoever. Parker, with 60 days notice, could evict me, or
Right.
you know, with no reason. And you know, that's that's pretty strong. So at any rate.
I'm down there about every day, just when I'm here in town, and talk to people about that. And some of the people are buying stuff over at your
They are.
Pier 98 now, and they said, yeah, we would love to have something here that we can, because the other day a lady ran out of squid, I guess it was, and she said, oh, I gotta drive all the way over there to get some more squid and at your place on Pier 98. And I said, well, we're supposed to be getting a building that would hit. Oh, that would be great. So the people I talked to over there, and I talked to a lot of them, they're all for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing is they want ice machine. They feel like that's would be a very good positive thing for them. They do have soft drinks out there, and the ice melts pretty fast, so they wanted to have a vending machine that they could get ice at. So I think
Well,
it's
the
a
ice
good idea.
machine, I checked on the ice machine. I called the company on 2 different occasions without getting a phone call. But the machines are $38,000 a piece that need to go out there. And they only have a 500-pound hopper, which simply means that that would be fine for people buying a bag here and a bag there. But your boats, if they come out there,
You use it
500-pound
all up.
hopper is going to get knocked out. And on busy weekends, you know, it's going to get knocked out in you know, a few hours, or not even that, but you know, first couple hours probably would be so it would just about to actually be able to service people would probably take 2 ice machines. And to support all this, you're talking about a time where maybe 6 or 8 weekends out of the year you really get use out of 2 ice machines, so you're almost spending close to 40,000. Well, you would by the time you put a pad in or an electric to it. You spend over $40,000 on a machine, and you know it's not going to get used, but very few times. And I'll tell you, I'm willing to do, I'm willing to do anything, and you know, and be part of all this. And I'll just give you the information, and if I could get those people to call me back, I'm not opposed to even trying to do that.
Your written response that the council has is exactly, I thought was good. So.
Well, I make a motion that we, go with the contract with these changes that he's asked for.
Mr. Buchholz's changes? Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have first and a second. As written with the changes. You call the roll, please.
Ms. Barrett?
Yes.
Ms. Barrow?
Yes.
Mr. Chapel?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
I sure would like to see what Mr. Sloan proposed to it, so I can make sense of what his argument is. And I don't have time to read it right
Yeah.
here in a meeting right now, but I'll go along with what he's proposed, and I will say
Okay.
yes.
Thank you.
Mayor Keller?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Buchholz.
We're done?
We are done.
I apologize for being away, but honest, I called somebody that said, they said 6 o'clock.
I'm gonna have to investigate that.
Okay.
It was somebody, I had never
Yeah,
heard their
sure,
voice
who
before,
would've
so I don't know who
said
that would have been.
They must have wanted you to miss the meeting.
Is there more than one city, Parker? I don't think there is.
Yeah, there's in Colorado and Texas.
Oh, God.
Cause I called information.
We get calls from them all the time.
There's another city in Florida, Parker in Florida as well.
Yeah,
But we get calls from Parker, Colorado or Parker, Texas.
Is that right?
We get yelled at because like, no, that's Pete in Parker.
I thought it was strange because normally it says you gotta go to function 5 and I may have had the wrong sound.
Thank you, Mr. Buchholz.
I wonder if they need a vending machine.
Mr. Chappell, you have the floor.
Oh, I really don't have anything to say, other than we're planning on having the dedication to the park, on the 26th, I believe it is. It's a Saturday, and I think what we decided, 4 o'clock?
Is this
Yep,
Yeah.
July?
yep,
July 26th?
yep. Got anything else?
Is it the 26th?
Yeah, that's all I got.
mm-hmm,
Mr. Haney?
At what time?
4.
Got a couple things. Mr. Ray Davis, I know he's due to retire here in a couple months.
Yes, he
You
is.
think we can get together and put like a plaque together or something like that?
Already one step ahead of you.
You already got it done.
Yeah, we're gonna have we'll give all the employees 2 days off with pay. And,
On Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
yeah, Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
He's retiring on a Friday. And, we're gonna have a meal for him and you'll all be invited.
Awesome.
And next door at the old station house. And we'll give him more than a plaque. I wanna give him something really nice.
Of course.
Maybe, some timesheets that haven't been filled out that he can take home with him, you know?
Maybe we give him his trash truck he drove for.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are going to feel Mr. Davis no longer working for us.
He's been
Yes,
such
we
a
are.
dedicated
He is
employee.
an
I'll tell you,
outstanding employee.
Fantastic
And
job.
that
he's done.
smile.
It's August the 30th.
Always a smile.
Yeah, the last day of August. We'll probably have the dinner. Tony's organizing it, but it'll be before the 30th, and we'll probably give him his plaque. I don't know. I don't have an exact date
It's
yet.
gonna be on that day, cause
Is
that's his actual.
That's right.
that's
Is
his
he going
actual-
that day? Is that a Friday or Tuesday?
It's a Friday,
Okay.
and that's his actual retirement date.
So, and
Great,
then
yeah,
We got this handled.
we might think
Gotcha.
about making it a Ray Day.
Ray Day.
Ray Day.
Yeah, do a proclamation.
Right,
That's right.
proclamation.
Miss Barron.
The only thing I got to say is that
I wasn't done yet, but
I didn't.
Oh, I'm so
no,
sorry, Miss
He
Barron.
said he
Hold
had
on.
a few. He said
You
he
looked
had a
down. I
few.
thought you were done. Go ahead, sir.
another concern is Martin Lake with the overgrowth of the grass.
The hydrilla?
The
Mhm.
hydrilla. Has anybody contacted FWC what they might be able to do with it?
I have not, but then again, I haven't asked anybody if they have, so I'll have to find out and get an answer to
Would
you.
you like me to make a phone call for you?
If you'd like
Oh,
to.
that would
I
be
will do that.
fabulous.
Okay.
I would love that, Mr. Haney. I don't even know what hydrilla is.
It's that green weed that grows in there with the white flowers on
all
it.
that crap.
It grows every year.
They don't let
It's-
me out of
it's
the clerk
getting
cave
very
much. I'll
bad
have
over
to
there.
go
It's-
look.
So right there at the road, at the bridge where you can look
It's-
straight at Martin
it's
Lake.
the entire.
So when Chuck used to live in that house right there, and I've seen him actually crawl down in there and cut
Right.
some of that down.
If you ever try to kayak through Martin Lake, it's
good.
getting really bad out there.
Too many snakes. I'm good. I'll pass.
Right.
Wow.
But does Springfield have much problem with the hydrilla?
Same thing.
It's the same over there.
They actually cause it.
Damn, Ralph.
That's what I told him when I
Right.
saw it. No, it just grows both sides every year.
Gotcha.
It's worse this year.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Because you know you can go onto the road there and cross into their side of the lake.
Was there any conversation years ago we were talking about the possibility of opening the across 98 or
The
that
spill,
like
open
a
the spillway.
where it goes to completely salt water again.
Right.
I don't hope those
It was. You remember at one time they rated that lake like number 8, the worst in the state for contamination. And there was talk back and forth, and it's been 20 years since that conversation happened. But it would. I think that the bay would probably clean it up pretty good if we opened it up. The leach all came from that slurry pit that's mounted up on the backside. I was hoping that this is my hope, not a fact, that if the mill left, that they'd take a lot of that debris with them. Because what would be nice is if it was dredged. If they put a dredge in there, like they do the bayou, and then dredge that. Well, I can tell you, if with my gauges in my hand, I could lay on the bottom 30 feet from the dock and shove those gauges down to here, my armpit, and never hit solid ground.
course
It's that much sludge.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there used to be a large population of grass carp out there, and I haven't seen grass carp
No,
out there in probably
no.
10, 15 years.
The one thing that I notice is on the bottom is, and I'm not exaggerating, billions of shrimp that are about a quarter-inch long. Billions of them. And they're like regular hoppers, but they're just tiny. And
Gotcha.
a lot of crabs in there, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Ms. Barrow?
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say, cause the employees are so underthanked, that I appreciate everything they do. They're out there in the heat and when
Oh my
they go in
gosh,
office, all
yes.
they do, the fire department, police department, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you for caring.
Good job.
You're up.
I'm good.
You're good. I've got a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen. As Mr. Chappell says, July the 26th at 4 o'clock, we'll have News 7, News 13. I would invite all of you and anybody else in Parker that would like to come over and see our memorial wall dedicated. Mr. Chappell, will we have some of the plaques by then?
Yes,
They're going to be going on the inside?
I got 2 plaques down there now. Basically, I just want to see how they look
Before you put them up?
before, and if that's not what I really want,
Okay.
I'll change the plaques. But I do have 2 plaques being made right now, and I was working on Sergeant Beam's plaque.
Okay.
It's not down there yet, but the information I got, I don't know if he was in the. I know he was killed in the service, but was it Vietnam or was it another war that we?
So he went to Vietnam, but the documentation that I have is that if you look at that picture, he's wearing a beret. They were a special operations unit,
Right.
and they were operating in Cambodia when he fell.
Oh, in
So,
Cambodia?
yeah.
Okay,
So it's difficult to know what those guys were doing or where they were at when they were doing it.
right.
So I think we should go with the information that we know from the memorial in Washington, D.C. that Libby and them were able to find, and I have that in my office, and go with that for his plaque. And
Okay.
other people have spoke to his family members. The story's a little contorted, but I'll be looking forward to seeing that plaque go up as well on this side of the wall.
Mr. Chappell, did you see on the news where Callaway's doing theirs over there? Their memorial park? And they're putting in plaques too, if you wanted to check with them and see what kind of plaques they add.
Yeah.
That they're doing, I mean, that's just a thought.
Did we
'cause
ever
it-
find out how much the plaques were?
About $20 each individual. I think that's what you said, wasn't it, Ron?
Well, where I'm having them made, the guy says someplace between 16 and 20.
Okay.
So I'll talk to him again, see if I can't confirm.
Well, could you confirm if we could have brass plaques rather than plastic plaques?
Well, these are aluminum plaques.
Aluminum plaques, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you see on park benches.
Yeah.
All right, well, we got till the 26th. Whether they're all up or not doesn't matter. We're going to dedicate it on the 26th. And then, as a part of the night, that night, I don't know if you've got one of these in your folder. You should have.
They don't yet.
Oh, you don't yet?
No, they don't.
Okay,
Yeah,
2 or 3 weeks ago, people reached out to me. We've been talking for a while about having a community movie night in the in the Memorial Park. So the second part of Friday, July the 26th, we'll dedicate it around 4, and then at 6 o'clock, they're going to air the first movie. They got an inflatable big screen, and they're going to put it over here. You better bring your family and a chair and a recliner or whatever you want to sit on, and sit in the grass, and they're going to show this movie right here. And I've let them pick it because it's.
It's a Disney movie, I looked it up.
Did you look it up? And there's several people going to do it. Kyle Merritt is the guy that's kind of organizing it for me because he likes to do this for his company that he works for. They're going to give out popcorn, and so if we start the memorial at 4, that'll probably be over by 5. then everybody can get dinner and whatever and come back, or more people might come that didn't come to the memorial that could come and watch the first movie in the park. Is it like a good movie?
I ain't never watched it, I don't know.
Did it? Okay, sounds good. Coco, it's called.
Okay.
Is it? Does anybody know? Anybody seen
Are there
Coco?
any parents or grandparents
Coco the
here
Clown,
that have
is it?
watched
No,
this?
it's animated.
Yeah, it's animated. My daughter's seen it.
Okay,
So-
Mr.
Disney
Johnson's
movie.
raising his hand like, yeah, he's seen it.
okay, sounds good.
Do they need to bring a blanket, chairs, or
Yeah, I
whatever?
wouldn't. I don't know. Portable air conditioner. I would think you might need to bring a crib, a block of ice, and maybe I don't know. Maybe Buchholz will sell you some ice.
Maybe we get some fans and set over there and blow on it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We get some big fans. I don't know, but to Mr. Buchholz leave. Yeah, I think that's going to be very, very nice when this is all built down there, and I'm appreciative that he's willing to do that without any expense to the city. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.